To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines, one too many times. Wicked games we play make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude, knowing it'll be.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wyatt, and these are 5 tips to help you excel in ESO, regardless of how long you've been playing or if you're a brand new player. If you found any of these tips helpful, let me know down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you guys. So with that out of the way, let's get into talking about the best MMO ever made. Yeah, I said it, and I'm not taking it back. I stand on it. ESO is the best. And in no particular order, coming in at tip number 1, we have exploring zones efficiently. There's a bunch of different ways that you can play the game, and I'm not here to say that one person's strategy of playing the game is incorrect, whereas somebody else's might be correct. I'm not about to do that, but there's definitely an efficient way to clear a zone and an inefficient ways to clear a zone. Let me explain. Regardless of what zone that you pick in Elder Scrolls Online, I want you to do 2 things immediately, right away. As soon as you get to that zone, I want you to do 2 things. I want you to run around and find every way shrine, and then I want you to run around and find every sky shard. Some of these sky shards might be in delves, they might be in locations and not just on the overworld map. But if you open up your map, it will tell you how many way shrines and sky shards you have left to discover in whatever zone it is that you want to explore. That's the very first thing that I want you to tackle. Check off that little list there when you pull up your map. And we'll talk more about the map in a minute. That's actually tip number 2, but stay with me for tip number 1 for a second. The reason I say do these first, especially in bigger areas, in bigger regions, is because 1, getting the perks as soon as possible, getting those perk points right off the bat is going to help you unlock more skills, more abilities that you already have, unlock passives through other skill trees, all kinds of other bonuses. And really, the sooner that you can get all of those that you want, the better. It's just going to make your character operate and run better, which will give you a better experience in general. Now, the reason I say go and get all of the way shrines as well is because it's going to help you navigate the region that you're trying to explore, because the quests in that region are going to be all over the place. You're going to have to go to a bunch of different places to get the quests, then go to a bunch of other places to complete the quest. Trust me, whatever region you go to, you're going to be all over the place. So get those way shrines right off the bat. And especially at lower levels, the XP that you get from discovering way shrines, it's not that bad. Like, it's all right. It's not going to help you power level or anything, but it is a nice little chunk of XP when you're going into a brand new region, which again, going back to the whole perk points thing, it just gets you that much closer to another perk point. So tip number 1, explore the region properly. Don't just waltz up in there aimless with no strategy in mind. Actually kind of have like a little plan going in. And I promise you, you'll be clearing regions faster, you'll be unlocking titles and in-game collectibles, and you'll be leveling up quicker. I promise you, try it out. It'll be easier. Like, it'll make things a lot easier on you. Go for the sky shards and go for the way shrines first. Alright guys, moving on into tip number 2, which we almost started talking about a minute ago. Take advantage of your map. Your map is not just this like picture that you open up or click on icons to fast travel. It's actually got some more uses than just that. When you open your map, if you look at the bottom of your screen, it will tell you what button to press in order to open up your zone guide. If you don't know what a zone guide is, it's your best friend, okay? Let me tell you that. It will basically hold your hand and tell you where you need to go to get the next quest for that region. It'll tell you how many delves are in the region and how many you have completed, how many sky shards you've discovered, how many way shrines there are. It basically is an achievement tracker just for that region. So definitely do not forget to use this, especially when you're going to a brand new region. It will make exploring it and really experiencing it that much easier. Don't forget about it. And in our number 3 slot, we have always do your daily dungeon. Every single time that you get on Elder Scrolls Online, I want you to do your daily dungeon. Now, it doesn't matter what difficulty the dungeon is set to. In fact, if you're not big on going through dungeons, maybe your build's not finished, or you just don't like the ones that you have unlocked, I would recommend putting the difficulty low, like queue up for just a regular dungeon, not a veteran dungeon, because you're just trying to get that daily dungeon XP boost is essentially what this is for. And while farming dungeons themselves are not the best way to power level, the daily dungeon bonus for your XP that you get is actually pretty great. So every day when you get on, queue up for that daily dungeon and get it out of the way. It'll help you level up faster, and you'll also start racking up gear and equipment that you can either sell or dismantle. There's all kinds of bonus benefits for it, so stop sleeping on it. Queue up for your daily dungeon. You'll be glad that you did. Alright guys, coming in at tip number 4, we have experiment with your build. Now I know, especially at lower levels, you might have the option to select a certain passive or an ability through a skill tree or something like that, but you might not want to select it because maybe you only have 1 or 2 perks laying around. Well, let me assure you of 2 things, okay? Number 1, there are more perk points that can be acquired than there are abilities to spend them on. So I promise you, no matter how many perk points you've already gotten, you'll be able to get another one. So don't worry about it. Spend the perk point. It's all good. Okay. And the second thing that I want to reassure you of, there is a plethora of ways that you can rebuild your character. Actually, in the process of leveling up from level 1 to level 50, the game will reward you with a skill respecification scroll. So guaranteed, just from playing the game, eventually you're going to earn a scroll that you can just consume at any time, and you can re-level your character immediately. You can also respec your character for free by using the armory station, and that's also something that you can just use anytime you want, whenever. So that's awesome. If you have a ton of gold and you don't mind spending the gold, then you can respec at certain temples in specific cities. And back to the armory station thing, if you know of a friend who has the armory station, I believe they can summon it and you can use it if you're in their group. So don't worry about, how you're spending your level ups. Just, experiment with different abilities and figure out what works for your playstyle. Other people might be telling you that, oh, do this build, do this with your character. If you're this role, then you should have this ability. Like, no, man, no. Say no to all of it and just do what you think is working for your character. When you find something that does work, keep doing it. You're the one playing your character. And the important part is that you have fun with it. So don't stress over the perk points, man. Just spend them. Experiment with your build. Now, I know some of you guys are going to hate this tip. I know some of you are going to hate tip number 5, which is why I saved it for the last. That way that you guys didn't hear this and then leave the video without hearing the other tips. So I hope that some of those previous tips were helpful for you. If so, leave a like on the video. And don't hate me for tip number 5, but there's just too many advantages for me not to say it. Tip number 5 is join a guild. There are Reddit pages and Facebook groups and Discord channels. There's all different kinds of ways for you to find a guild. There's even a built-in guild recruitment system through the game. You can find people in game chat recruiting for guilds. It happens all the time. And there's tons of different guilds that you can join, but regardless of the kind of guild that you join, having access to other players in the game helps out in a lot of different ways. They can help you run through dungeons if you're grinding for sets. They can help you make adjustments to your build and give you feedback. They can do all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of trading opportunity. Being in a guild, especially an active guild, is great. And it might take you a little bit to find a guild that really works for you, that you feel like you fit in. But I would definitely recommend that you at least be open to joining guilds. Rest assured, you can definitely solo probably 95% of ESO. But don't discount being in a guild. It's, try it out. It's pretty awesome.
We've been looking for a breakthrough, trying our best to make do. Every day is something new, but change don't come, oh yes it's true. Brighter days are straight ahead. Follow me, won't be misled. Just look up, don't hang your head, and we'll get to the promised land. Somebody loves you, please don't forget such. Take your time, no need to feel rushed. We gon' shine somehow one day. Word to O'Shea today.